Possibly one of the scariest words in algebra is simplify, because math is not simple. All right, so here's our first example. We need to simplify this. What is going on? Well, the word simplify literally just means to make something simple. We need to make this as simple as possible because it doesn't actually need to be this long and confusing. Now, the most important thing to remember to simplify something is to know that usually when you have two of the same letter, then you can combine those in some way. So like, for example, you may be noticing that these parentheses aren't doing anything in this equation because everything's being multiplied and it doesn't matter what order you multiply things in. So let's go ahead and group up all of the things that we can combine. So 3 and 5, those are just normal numbers, so we can combine those. So let's go ahead and put 3 and 5 together. And then we have x to the minus 2 and x to the 4th. Well, those can be combined because they're both x, so let's put those together. And notice how I'm putting all of these in parentheses because when two things are next to each other in parentheses, that means you just multiply them. And then we have two y's here, so we'll combine those as well. So 3 times 5, well, that's 15. But now it gets a little more complicated. X to the minus 2 times x to the 4th. How do you even do that? Can you do that? I don't know. Well, you can multiply two of the same letter here with different exponents. And here's how you would do that. For example, let's say I had x to the 2 times x to the 3. Well, x to the 2 just means x times x. And x to the 3rd means x times x times x. So you end up with x times x times x times x times x, which is 5 x's, so x to the 5th. So basically, whenever you're multiplying two of the same letter with different exponents, you have to add the exponents together, because 2 plus 3 is 5. So we have x to the minus 2 times x to the 4th. Well, minus 2 plus 4, that's 4 minus 2, which is 2. So we're going to put x to the 2. And now finally here we have y to the 3rd times y to the minus 6. 3 minus 6. We earned $3 and then lost $6. We're down $3. So y to the minus 3. So you might think that, oh yeah, that's nice. We can't do anything else. We can't combine anything. But when you're simplifying, there's one more important thing you need to do. And you need to get rid of the negative exponents if it's possible, which can seem kind of confusing if you don't know what a negative exponent is. But let me show you. Let's say we had x to the minus 2. A negative exponent basically just means the same thing as putting it in the bottom of a fraction. So x to the minus 2 is actually just 1 over x to the positive 2. So what we can do is we can just put this y to the minus 3 in the bottom of a fraction. So we'll have 15 x squared and then over y to the 3rd. So there you go, our final answer, and this is our simplified version of this thing at the top. 15x squared over y to the 3rd. All right, enough multiplying and dividing and stuff. Let's do some adding and subtracting. So here we have two polynomials, or a fancy way of saying stuff with multiple things in it. So how do we subtract these? Well, the difference between multiplying and adding and subtracting is you can only add and subtract if the two letters are not only the same, but have the same exponent. If they have different exponents, you can't add and subtract them. So there's multiple ways you could go about this. I think the easiest way to think of this would be to just line these two up. So we'll have 3x squared minus 4x plus 1, and then we'll be doing minus 5x squared plus x minus 3. But it's important to remember that we're subtracting this whole bottom row. We're not just subtracting 5x squared. So let's go ahead and keep this in parentheses to show that. So here we have 3x squared minus 5x squared. Well, 3 minus 5 is negative 2, and then the x squared stays. And now here's the thing you need to remember. This is not negative 4x plus x. This is negative 4x minus x, because the minus is distributed to all three of these parts. So we're going to have minus 4x minus another x, which is minus 5x. And now here we have 1, so positive 1, minus 3. Well, two negatives make a positive, so this is actually 1 plus 3, which is 4. So there you go, our final simplified version of this top part is negative 2x squared minus 5x plus 4. All right, and now finally this example. This one might be the scariest type of simplification for a lot of algebra students, but let me explain it to you in a way that makes sense, just step by step. So you might be thinking this actually looks pretty similar to another form that you might have done before called FOIL. And with FOIL, you follow the steps of FOIL. So that's when you have two things in parentheses, each one with two parts to them, and you have to follow the steps. So F is first, so you multiply the first ones together, Then outer, you multiply the outer ones together, and then the inner ones like this for I, and then L is last. But the reason that FOIL exists is essentially what you can do with this, even though there are more parts to this. So what we have to do here is basically just an extended version of the distributive property. We have to multiply this first part here, the x, to every part of the second set of parentheses. So like this, and then we'll get some set of numbers here. Then we're going to do the whole thing over again with the 2. So we're going to multiply the 2 to all 3 parts. And then that'll give us another set of 3 numbers. And then we'll just combine what we can combine. So let's go ahead and do this with the x first. So we have x times x squared. Remember that we add the exponents together. X times x, which is x squared, times another x is x to the third. Then we have x times negative 4x. Remember, the minus sign has to stay. So we have minus 4, and then x times x, which is x squared. And then finally, we have x times 5, which is, well, 5x. So now let's do the same thing, but with the 2 right here. So we have 2 times x squared. Well, there's nothing you can do about that except just write 2 times x squared. Then we have 2 times negative 4x. Well, 2 times 4 is 8, and then the x stays, and we also have a minus sign, so the minus sign stays. And then we have 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. And this is slightly off-center, and it's bothering me, so let's move it. So can we combine anything in this mess of numbers? Well, I am seeing 2 parts with an x squared in it, so we can combine those. Well, first of all, x to the third we can't combine, right? But we have negative 4x squared and then plus 2x squared. Well, negative 4 plus 2, you lost $4 and then gained 2 back, but you're still down $2. So we're going to put minus 2x squared. And now we can actually also combine these two, the 5x and the minus 8x. So we gained $5 and then lost $8, we're down $3. So that's going to be minus 3x. And then this 10 that's all lonely and by itself doesn't have anything to combine with, so that's just going to stay plus 10. So there you go. Our final answer here is x to the third minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 10. There's nothing there that we can combine because even though these are the same letters, to add and subtract, they have to have the same exponent as well. So this is our simplified version. So there you go. You now know how to simplify polynomials. I mean, I can't promise that it'll actually feel simple, and a lot of the time simplifying actually makes it longer. But remember, all you have to do is just combine whatever you can combine. But remember what I said about 3 seconds ago about it being longer sometimes after simplifying? Well, that's usually the case when you have big strings of exponents. And for that, you're going to use something called Pascal's triangle. So if you want to learn how to use Pascal's triangle, you can watch this video right here. And as always, if you have any questions about this video, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer your question. Thanks for watching.